Moving into our next story, a little bit of a blast from the past we've talked about at a time that was definitely unregulated. Bayhorse, a glimpse into Idaho's rich mining history. This comes by the Boise Dev by Ann Daly. Tucked away in a canyon within the land of Yankee Fork State Park near Chalice, Idaho, lies the remnants of several ghost towns, including Custer, Bonanza, and Bayhorse. Once bustling with activities, these towns now offer visitors a unique window into Idaho's rich mining history. Bayhorse, in particular, stands as a testament to the state's mining past. The area was discovered in 1864 when a lone prospector stumbled upon ore in a tributary of the Salmon River while searching for a lost horse. Very Idaho issue to have happen there. This discovery led to Bayhorse becoming one of the wealthiest silver discoveries in the Idaho Territory in the 1880s. By 1885, so 5 years later, Bayhorse had transformed into a thriving mining town, boasting a population of 300 residents. The city was home to a mill, several houses, 3 stores, a hotel, a restaurant, a meat market, a lodging house, and 5 saloons, because, you got to have your alcohol out west. A refinery was also established, allowing silver to be shipped out in bars. The town's charm lies in its preserved architecture, offering a tangible connection to a bygone Western era. Before the turn of the century, more than 10 million in ore, including silver, lead, and copper, was extracted from the Bayhorse mining district. In 1976, Bayhorse was added to the National Registry of Historical Places. 30 years later, in 2006, it became part of the Idaho State Park system and opened to the public in 2009 as part of the land of the Yankee Fork State Park. Today, visitors to Bayhorse can step back in time and experience firsthand the legacy of Idaho's mining heritage. Which, I know me and John, I think it was, like Boulder or something mine that's up there in northern Idaho that's coming online. We've talked about it here on the show, how much we're excited about that, bringing this mining back. So I didn't know about this. Obviously, this mine, it became open to the public in 2009. I haven't gotten to see it yet, but I don't know about it. I'm definitely going to put it on my map to go check out.
Yeah, that's awesome. I haven't done any reading of the mining rush, I guess you could call it, here in Idaho. But it's a really cool part of our history. And I'm excited for my children to learn about it because they'll tell me about it.
There's a reason we're called the Gem State. Yes, we have our potatoes, but we at one point, and I think we can get back to it, that we produced a ton of different ore and materials, and it's all waiting here, especially if we're talking on the renewable front. I know I've talked about it here on the show before in the past, but we have a ton of uranium and thorium deposits and lithium here in the state of Idaho for all the tree huggers out there, right? That we can mine, and I think we should. Better to mine it here than it being mined in third world country. We can mine it here, we can refine it here, and do all the assembly here. And just, obviously, if you want to talk about greenhouse emissions, right, or carbon emissions, right, wouldn't it be more effective to literally have the mine less than a couple hundred miles from the refinery and then have the refinery only a couple hundred miles from the assembly line? I think that makes way more sense.
You'd like to think so.
Right? But welcome to the 21st century, where we love to ship everything around the globe.
Yeah. It's interesting when you start talking about where things happen. You build a widget in China that gets shipped to the U.S., which then gets shipped back to China so that it can be shipped back to the U.S. What are we doing here, guys?
One example of that is I was hearing about like some skateboards and stuff for like the wood, obviously, right? It'll get cut in like Canada, and then it'll get shipped to China to process. Then it comes back, and then it finally gets assembled and put together so that it could be said it's assembled in the U.S.
Because this is how we do things.
But that looks like a really cool thing to go see, and I'm definitely going to have to put a note down there to go fly the drone. If I can, I'll have to check the airspace, because state parks, national parks, they don't like drones, and I don't like them for doing it.